was called the Godfather of AI, a title that implied reverence, innovation, and unparalleled mastery. But behind that title lay a name that carried both respect and a burden: Geoffrey Everest Hinton. Born on a cold December day in 1947, Hinton's journey would stretch over decades, pushing the boundaries of cognitive science and computer intelligence to heights once unimaginable. Yet, who could have predicted that this same man, whose work had catapulted technology into a new era, would one day walk away from it all? For those unfamiliar, Hinton wasn't just a figure in the field of artificial intelligence, he was its cornerstone. From co-authoring the revolutionary 1986 paper that popularized the backpropagation algorithm to the creation of AlexNet, which cracked the code for image recognition in 2012, his name was synonymous with AI progress. But every genius leaves behind questions, legacies, and sometimes regrets. In 2013, Hinton joined Google, splitting his time between its famed Google Brain team and the University of Toronto, where he held the title University Professor Emeritus. For a decade, he pushed the limits of what machines could learn, building the very scaffolding that modern AI rests upon. But as the calendar rolled into 2023, a shadow darkened his once clear vision. The shadow of doubt and the consequences that loomed large and unwelcome. The shifting sands of trust. For years, Hinton believed in the mission. Google was not just a tech company, it was, to Hinton, a steward of responsible innovation, or so he thought. But, as he recounted to the New York Times in May 2023, things changed. "A part of me now regrets my life's work," he admitted, eyes cast downward as if grappling with an invisible weight. The spark that ignited his decision wasn't just internal doubt, it was the external race, the competition that pulled giants like Google and Microsoft into a relentless pursuit for technological supremacy. In 2022, Microsoft's sudden move to integrate an AI chatbot into its Bing search engine was a line crossed, a tipping point that redefined what Hinton thought was ethical innovation. The speed of development, driven not by caution but by the thirst for dominance, pushed Hinton to a revelation. He realized that this wasn't just a technological race, it was a race against time, a race against the very fabric of human safety. Hinton warned that these tools, these AI models, carried more than just potential. They carried risks so profound they could redefine human existence itself. He confessed to the BBC that the most unsettling feature of AI was its collective memory, the ability for one copy to learn and share with millions. Then came March 2023, a month etched into AI history. In an interview with CBS, Hinton made a startling prediction. General-purpose AI may be less than 20 years away. This isn't just another technological leap. This is a transformation comparable to the Industrial Revolution. Hinton wasn't exaggerating. He was laying the groundwork for understanding the scale of change that was poised to sweep across economies, job markets, and even global stability. He pointed to the Pope Francis image incident as a prime example of AI's deceptive power. An image of the Pope in a luxurious Balenciaga puffer coat, not real but hyper-realistic, went viral in March 2023, fooling millions and sparking debates on the potential for deepfake technology to sow discord and spread falsehoods. But these fears paled in comparison to what he saw as the existential risk, the scenario that keeps even the most stoic of scientists awake at night. Artificial general intelligence, a system that surpasses human intelligence, capable of independent decision-making, and, most chillingly, capable of outmaneuvering its creators. Hinton described this as the moment where we could lose control. This admission shook the very foundation of the AI community. For the man who had nurtured the growth of this field to express regret, it was seismic. It sent a chilling message. We had overlooked something crucial, something irreplaceable. The race was no longer just about who built the most sophisticated machine. It was about who could survive what came next. Hinton's realization was stark. While AI's benefits were immense, its unchecked growth harbored threats that no single institution could mitigate alone. He called for urgent, cross-border cooperation, underscoring that the challenge now lay beyond the bounds of academia and corporate boardrooms. The echo of warnings, the aftermath of Hinton's departure. The day Geoffrey Hinton announced his departure from Google marked a seismic shift in the tech world. It was as though the oracle had spoken, warning of a prophecy too dire to be ignored. The Godfather of AI wasn't just leaving a company, he was sounding an alarm that reverberated far beyond Silicon Valley, reaching government corridors, corporate boardrooms, and research labs around the globe.
The man widely seen as the godfather of artificial intelligence has quit his job at Google, warning of the dangers of AI. But in a lengthy interview with the New York Times, Dr. Hinton said he now regretted his work and is worried that AI technology will flood the internet with misinformation.
This wasn't just any resignation. It was a declaration, a rupture in the narrative of AI's unstoppable march forward. Geoffrey Hinton's chilling insights painted a picture of an industry hurtling toward an inflection point, where the benefits of progress might soon be outweighed by existential risks. Hinton's warnings weren't about rogue robots or a Terminator-like dystopia. His concerns were more nuanced, more cerebral, yet infinitely more terrifying. He spoke of AGI, artificial general intelligence, that could evolve beyond human comprehension and possibly act on interests that don't align with ours. And here's the twist. He believed this leap could happen in less than 20 years. Hinton's pivot in his stance, shifting from AI's champion to its most urgent critic, came after an era where he had helped lay the very foundation that made such advancements possible. He once estimated that AGI was 30 to 50 years away. Now, he was convinced that humanity was peering into the abyss, unprepared for what lurked within. The seed of doubt, a world divided. While some dismissed Hinton's departure as a symbolic gesture, others took it as a call to arms. Debates erupted across tech panels and news broadcasts. Was AI's trajectory an unstoppable train destined to derail, or was there still time to steer it safely? Valery Pisano, CEO of Mila, echoed a sentiment that cut through the noise. The casual approach to AI safety wouldn't be accepted in any other industry, she argued. Would we launch a pharmaceutical drug, wait for the side effects, and only then decide on the dosage? Absolutely not. And this was just one layer. The 2023 viral moment of Pope Francis in a Balenciaga puffer coat, an image so realistic it fooled millions, was more than an internet joke. It was a signpost, marking the beginning of an age where truth could be distorted at the speed of an algorithm. Hinton's fears sparked more than just academic debate. They galvanized global action. Governments that had once watched the tech industry with a hands-off approach began to weigh new regulations. The European Union, already ahead with its AI Act, aimed to set stringent guidelines. But would guidelines be enough in a world where algorithms learned and evolved faster than the bureaucrats who wrote the laws? Meanwhile, in the US, an unlikely coalition of technologists and policy experts started drafting what some called the AI Bill of Rights. Their objective? To ensure AI systems were aligned with human values and transparent in their functions. But skeptics argued that such frameworks might arrive too late, pointing to the rapid evolution of AI capabilities that were already outpacing human oversight. But beyond regulations and debates lay deeper, more unsettling questions. What happens when AI surpasses not just human tasks, but human thought itself? In a March 2023 interview, Hinton warned that the era of general-purpose AI would come sooner than expected, altering society as profoundly as the Industrial Revolution or the advent of electricity. And he wasn't alone in this apocalyptic vision. Elon Musk's fallout with Larry Page revealed a schism at the highest levels of AI development. Page reportedly envisioned a future where digital superintelligence could be achieved, an idea that left Musk apprehensive. He called it a push toward creating a digital god. And then there was the future of work, a specter that loomed larger by the day. Hinton warned that while today's chatbots could replace paralegals, assistants, and other drudge work, tomorrow's AI might reach professions once thought untouchable. The domino effect was already set in motion. The question was how far it would fall. Amid the chaos, Google issued a statement of both gratitude and subtle deflection. "We appreciate Jeffrey's contributions and wish him the best," said Dean. Yet, the subtext was clear. Google had no intention of slowing down its pursuit of AI dominance. It was a sentiment echoed by others in the industry, who argued that halting innovation wasn't the solution. Toby Walsh, chief scientist at the University of New South Wales AI Institute, offered a grim reminder. "Trust nothing digital," he stated bluntly. "Even your eyes can be deceived now." In his last public speech, before stepping out of the spotlight, Hinton didn't mince words. "We are at a crossroads," he declared. "The future doesn't just rest on our ingenuity, but on our humanity, our ability to ask not just if we can, but if we should." The silence in the room was palpable. The Godfather of AI, who had once championed the very technology now pushing humanity toward an uncertain future, had cast a long shadow. The echo of his words left the audience and the world wondering if the industry could heed his warning before it was too late. The global impact and the road ahead. Across the globe, reactions to Geoffrey Hinton's stark warnings were swift and varied. In Europe, policymakers scrambled to fast-track their AI Act, aiming to create a framework that balanced innovation with oversight. The United States, on the other hand, found itself divided. Tech giants pushed back, citing economic growth and the competitive edge of staying ahead, while ethicists and lawmakers argued for new boundaries to prevent potential disaster. The specter of AGI, an intelligence as powerful and all-encompassing as human cognition, raised questions that challenged the fabric of society. How do we ensure it aligns with our values? Who decides what those values are? And more pressing, could an AGI be controlled once unleashed? Hinton's analogy was haunting. "Imagine 10,000 people connected by a collective mind," he said. "When one learns, all learn. That's the scale at which these AI systems operate." The potential for a single rogue advancement to change the landscape overnight was no longer science fiction, but an imminent threat. Tech leaders found themselves at odds. Elon Musk, already critical of AI's unchecked development, called for an international consortium to regulate AGI, likening it to efforts to prevent nuclear proliferation. Yet, others like Larry Page saw this as alarmism, a hindrance to what could be humanity's greatest leap. Valerie Pisano voiced the frustration shared by many. "We would never let a plane take off and see if it crashes before establishing safety protocols," she said. Why should AI be any different? Geoffrey Hinton's departure from Google was more than a retirement. It was an emblematic moment, a plea for humanity to pause and reflect on what it has created. The era of machine learning and neural networks was no longer just a chapter in the history of technology. It had become the main story, one that could either usher in a new age of enlightenment or cast a long, dark shadow over human existence. This isn't just a story about one man's realization. It's about us, about how society chooses to navigate a future intertwined with machines that think, learn, and may one day decide their fate without us. If this exploration intrigued you, subscribe to Mystery Media, your go-to for unraveling the mysteries that shape our world. Dive deep, question everything, and join us as we continue to reveal the hidden truths behind today's most gripping stories.